We now would like to invite Rabbi Melanie Aron from Congregation Shir Hadash to speak about affordable housing.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Last night, with the appearance of 3 stars, the Jewish community concluded a day of prayer and fasting for Yom Kippur. Traditionally, the very first action taken after break fast is to hammer the first nails for the building of a sukkah, an outdoor hut for the celebration of the Jewish Harvest Festival that begins this Sunday night. We do this to start the year off right with an immediate positive observance. But it is also a reminder of the core importance of shelter. Shelter comes first. Whether we are ancient Israelites wandering in the desert or residents of Silicon Valley in the year 2015, housing is critical to every part of our life, our health, our well-being, the life of our family. Without this protection, other aspects of life are too difficult to manage. In our scripture reading yesterday, the prophet Isaiah called us, Va'aniyim merudim tavi bayit, to give the poor homeless a home. We must build more housing. We must refurbish existing housing that was allowed to deteriorate during the mortgage crisis. We must protect the most vulnerable. Every family, every individual deserves a home. It's my pleasure to invite Donna Furuta to come forward and offer her personal testimony.
I have lived in San Jose for 38 years and raised 2 sons here. They both graduated from Mount Pleasant High School, and both now struggle with housing. My younger son and his wife have graduate degrees and good jobs, but are unable to buy a house. They rent a 2-bedroom apartment for their family of 4 in Sunnyvale. My older son recently, because of personal issues, had to move. He is a postmaster with the Postal Service. He has worked steadily at this well-paying job for 8 years. You would think that he could find an affordable place in which to live. He simply couldn't afford the rents plus the first and last month's rent and a security deposit. I know it was hard for him as an adult to have to come ask me if he could live with me. He really didn't have any choice. I live in a 2-bedroom condo. I have been living on my own for many years. It is different to have to share your space. We've had to negotiate kitchen space and have had to make accommodations to live together. Our situation brings the rental crisis and the housing crisis home to me. I never thought that I would be in this situation. I thought at my age things were settled with my sons. I wasn't prepared, and I can better understand how so many people have to live in close quarters in this valley. It affects more people than you realize. My son hesitated to even tell me that he was having problems finding a place. He had to stay in an unhealthy situation until he asked me to help. Asking for help creates a loss of dignity for anyone such as my son, who has been self-sufficient and taken care of a family for many years. It's disconcerting to him that he can't afford an apartment at this time with the salary that he makes. Everyone needs a place to live. Our society tells us that the American way is to have a family and have a house. That dream is being eroded now. More and more of us are vulnerable. A lot of people are hurting. Pope Francis is telling people of faith to concern themselves with the poor and the excluded. I am very encouraged by the things he has said. He gives me encouragement to keep on with this work in PACT. Thank you.
Responding to Donna's story and the suffering of thousands of others in our community who struggle to keep up with skyrocketing rents, We call on the San Jose City Council to adopt stronger renter protections that include limiting rent increases through meaningful rent control, ending unjust evictions, and preventing discrimination in housing. These are critical ways that our city officials can protect renters and provide leadership that says no to the economy and culture of exclusion. We commit to work with our public officials on additional steps for an overall strategy to create a community where all people live in dignity, in safe, stable, and decent housing. We thank our county and city officials for their investments and plans to house the homeless. We challenge them also to take action to prevent more individuals and families from becoming homeless and being pushed out of our communities altogether. Thank you.